Hey y'all! You're probably considering using FreshBooks for your bookkeeping business if you're watching this video, so I'm going to take a few moments to answer who, in my opinion, has the hardest time using FreshBooks for their business bookkeeping. The hardest time adopting FreshBooks as their bookkeeping software. Of course, this is assuming that your business meets the criteria for using FreshBooks, which you can go to my updated review of FreshBooks video that will be popping up right here. Watch that first. If your business isn't a good fit for FreshBooks, obviously you'll have a hard time using it. If you are considering FreshBooks and haven't watched that yet, you must stop now and go watch that first. But who am I to say what type of person has the hardest time using FreshBooks for their business bookkeeping? Well, I'm Kate Josephine Johnson. I'm a bookkeeper who earns her living exclusively serving small businesses that use FreshBooks. I feel like I'm the most qualified person in the world to answer this question because I believe that there is no other accounting professional that has worked with more FreshBooks users than I have. And part of that reason is that one of my services I offer is one-on-one FreshBooks training. So that means I get an enormous amount of clients because FreshBooks users who are DIYing their books and other accounting pros who get their first client on FreshBooks end up finding my tutorials on this YouTube channel, and then they realize they need my help. So they hire me for some Zoom training sessions, which is seriously some of the best money they could choose to spend, by the way. It's not a normal service that accounting professionals offer to clients. So you can watch a video where you get a sneak peek where I show how I do one-on-one training so you know what you're investing in if you need that type of thing. During this video, I'm going to mention a lot of additional resources I have for new FreshBooks users, and I'm going to host all of those at heritagebusinessservices.com/FreshBooks. If you're going to use FreshBooks, you need to go to that website to get those starter resources. My referral link will be on that page as well if you would like to use it if you have not signed up for FreshBooks yet. Of course, you don't have to, but if I'm more helpful to you than that random finance blogger who does not know how to use the software, going to that link to use my referral link right before you sign up for FreshBooks is an amazing way to say thank you, Kate, for the tutorial library here on this YouTube channel. In this day and age, there is no way you're buying any software subscription without someone getting your referral commission. At least I'm being honest about hoping you'll use my link if I'm helpful. And the good news is, if you use my link, you can get my sweet certified accountant partner discount. FreshBooks lets us accounting pros offer the subscription at super discounted rates. And after you use my link to sign up for your FreshBooks account, reach out to operations@heritagebusinessservices.com if you want to get on my calendar so you can learn the software quickly and efficiently. So, assuming your business is actually a good fit for FreshBooks, who has the hardest time using FreshBooks? Drum roll, please. It's people who have been using QuickBooks Desktop. Not QuickBooks Online, but QuickBooks Desktop. There, I said it. I just really believe it, y'all. I would be happy for anyone listening to debate me. Comment below if you want to say a different category of user you think has the hardest time using FreshBooks. But I think they have the hardest time, and I think it stems from 3 reasons that I'm going to explain a little more thoroughly. Reason 1 is about that idea of old dogs learning new tricks. Even though they are both double entry accounting softwares, there is something just really very different about the two platforms. 99 times out of 100, if someone has been using QuickBooks Desktop, that means they have been doing their business bookkeeping for quite some time on that platform. That's an old software. And you know what they say about how it's hard to teach old dogs new tricks, y'all? But this problem is not unique to FreshBooks. Longtime QuickBooks Desktop users have a hard time switching to any modern cloud-based bookkeeping software. They have a hard time switching to QuickBooks Online even, because that QuickBooks Desktop user has forgotten how bad they were when they first started using QuickBooks Desktop. Sure, you've got your smooth system now and you think desktop is easy now, but when you first started, you were terrible. You wanted to throw your computer out the window. But just because you know desktop well now doesn't mean you're automatically going to know how to use any new bookkeeping software. If anything, you are going to have a harder time making the switch than a brand new business who has never had to do bookkeeping on any platform yet. So just mentally prepare to be bad at whatever software you choose to switch to before you are good at it. And you can learn it on your own. You can hire me for a couple of Zoom sessions to help ensure that everything is set up correctly and quickly so you can learn which parts of FreshBooks you need to use and in what order you need to approach your workflow. But the longer you use that old one thing, that QuickBooks Desktop, the harder it is to make a switch to another new thing. Now, reason 2 desktop users have a difficult time switching has to do with the scale of the business that could run on QuickBooks Desktop versus FreshBooks. Look, y'all, QuickBooks Desktop was a steal of a deal. You are probably a somewhat small enterprise. probably under $1 million. And yet you were blessed to be using an enormously powerful software that could run really, really enormous enterprises for honestly a really cheap amount of money. You could do some really complex accounting by just buying a CD from your local Costco. Well, we ain't in Kansas anymore, people, and this is totally different type of economy built on the idea of subscription software. So many businesses are coming to FreshBooks because the price of QuickBooks Desktop, and of QBO, is shooting through the roof, and yet they think that this lower price software can do all of those powerful things that they were used to. If you are coming from desktop, just know that there were enormous enterprises that were running that very same software that you're running for your much smaller business, and yet you benefited from a lot of these super powerful features. And you're not going to be going to as robust of a software for what you were paying for desktop. Just know that. And don't be mad about it. Or go pay for the more robust software that costs more money. And the third reason that desktop users have a hard time transitioning to FreshBooks has to do with sort of a manual entry mentality versus a cloud computing mentality. I'd say that desktop comes from the starting place that much of the bookkeeping activity was going to be done manually, and only a little bit might be automated by modern tech, like bank connections and receipt capture and such. And FreshBooks is the opposite. In FreshBooks, you literally can't even do a true bank reconciliation if your bank account or credit card is not connected via the cloud. And that is uncomfortable for longtime desktop users who are used to putting in transactions manually. I tell people, if you use FreshBooks and find that you are doing a lot of manual entry, you are using it wrong. Wrongly? So at least you know now. If you are a former desktop user and are a good fit for FreshBooks, well, then you have found the best person to help you make the switch. So what do you need to do now? Well, hold on. I got quite a few things, but listen up. Here's some of my advice. You need to make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel if FreshBooks is going to be your bookkeeping software. You need to make sure to watch that review of FreshBooks video to confirm that you're a good fit before you get in neck deep into FreshBooks. Do not do a migration of your old QuickBooks Desktop account. You can do a targeted rebuild, but if you just dump years and years of history that is probably not even accurate into a much simpler bookkeeping system, you are asking for a hot mess. 9 out of 10 times you're going to end up on a Zoom call with me, and my best advice is going to be start a new FreshBooks file anyway. And if you go straight to the FreshBooks sales team, they are definitely going to sell you migration services. I just disagree that that's the best way to transition. All right, here's another tip. You have to throw out everything that's inside your brain that you think you know about an accounting software. FreshBooks is not QuickBooks Desktop. You are starting over, starting fresh even. Adopt that spirit of willing to be bad at something so that you can eventually be good. You also for real need to watch my video called The Biggest Mistake People Make in the First 30 Days of FreshBooks. And when I say 30 days, I literally mean 30 days. Don't make that mistake, y'all, or your bank accounts will get disconnected and you will be very sad. Go watch that video. You also all need to get my resource called Kate's Favorite Buttons and Kate's Least Favorite Buttons in FreshBooks, so you don't use any of those buttons that I don't like. And so that you use more of the buttons that I do like and find those buttons quickly. Every FreshBooks user should come to my free once a month FreshBooks Q&A with Kate. I host it once per month. If you use FreshBooks, why would you not come and ask me a question for free? Come on, let's go, sign up. And again, if you haven't started FreshBooks yet, I'd be so appreciative if you grabbed my referral link now if you plan on using that software. Anything I've mentioned in this video will be linked below and will be on the site heritagebusinessservices.com/FreshBooks. I'm Kate Josephine Johnson, and I help businesses build their business legacy.